In this video, we will explore the life of the 11th Mansa of the Mali Empire, the richest man that ever lived, Mansa Musa. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mansa I, or Mansa Musa, was born in the Mali Empire in 1280 AD. He was the 10th Mansa of the Mali Empire. Mansa roughly translates to emperor, sultan, or conqueror. What is mainly known about the Mali Empire is taken from writings from Arab scholars. Another major source of information is Mandinka oral tradition, through storytellers known as griots. A griot was a West African historian, storyteller, praise singer, poet, or musician who passed information down verbally through generation. Mansa Musa acquired the throne of the Mali Empire in 1312 AD when he was 31 or 32 years old, through a practice known as appointing a deputy. Mansa Musa's predecessors, Abu Akari Kieta II, embarked on an expedition to explore the limits or find the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. Before Abu Bakari embarked, he named Mansa Musa his deputy. This meant if Abu Bakari died on his expedition, the throne of the Mali Empire would go to Mansa Musa. To Mansa Musa's good fortune, Abu Bakari never returned from his expedition. When Mansa Musa ascended to the throne, he was quoted by an Arab Egyptian scholar named Al-Umar, saying, "The ruler who preceded me did not believe that it was possible to reach the extremities of the ocean that encircles the earth, and wanted to reach that, and obstinately persisted in the design. So he equipped 200 boats full of men, as many full of gold, water, and victuals, sufficient enough for several years. He ordered the admiral of the expedition not to return until they had reached the extremity of the ocean, or if they had exhausted the provisions of the water. They set out. Their absence extended over a long period, and at last only one boat returned. On our questioning, the captain said, 'Prince, we have navigated for a long time until we saw in the midst of an ocean as if a big river was flowing violently. My boat was the last one. Others were ahead of me. As soon as any of them reached this place, it drowned in the whirlpool and never came out. I sailed backwards to escape this current, but the Sultan would not believe him. He ordered 2,000 boats to be equipped for him and for his men, and 1,000 more for water and victuals. Then he conferred on me the regency during his absence, and departed with his men on the ocean trip, never to return, nor to give any sign of life.' At this time of Musa's ascension to the throne, the Malian Empire, formerly belonging to the Ghana Empire, an empire that grew rich from its increased trans-Saharan trade in gold and salt. This empire was located in present-day southern Mauritania and Mali, and the immediate surrounding areas. Musa was a very devout Muslim. In 1324, as a part of his religious commitments, he went on a Hajj, or a journey to Mecca. When Musa left his home in Niani, he brought with him 60,000 men, where 1/5 were slaves. All of the 60,000 men he brought along wore Persian silks and brocade, a clothing that only the very wealthy wore during that time. Each of the 12,000 slaves carried 1.8 kilograms or 4 pounds of gold each. He also brought along heralds dressed in silk who bore gold staffs, organized horses, and handled bags. Musa provided all the food and water for all the 60,000 men that joined him on the journey. This also included all of the animals. The animals included were the organized horses he brought along, and 80 camels that carried 23 to 136 kilograms, or 50 to 300 pounds of gold dust each. Musa gave a lot of this gold to poor people along his journey. He did this because, as previously said, he was a devout Muslim, and felt it was his duty to give to the people who were less fortunate than him. He also used the gold to buy souvenirs along his endeavor, and according to sources, he built a mosque every Friday in places he passed. In fact, he gave away so much gold, he devalued the price of the precious metal in places like Cairo, Mecca, and Medina for more than a decade. Since at the time gold was a central currency, prices of everything in the area greatly inflated. When Musa was returning to his hometown from Mecca, he borrowed all the gold he could from all the lenders in Mecca at a very high interest. This is the only instance in recorded history where one man directly controlled the price of gold in the Mediterranean. Before Musa left, he brought many Arabic scholars and architects to record the actions of the Mali Empire. During Musa's return journey from Mecca in 1325, he heard the news that Gao, a city resisting Mali rule, was annexed, and he made a detour to the city. This is where he received 2 hostages, sons of the Gao king. Their names were Ali Colin and Solomon Nar. He returned to his home in Nyani, where he educated the 2 boys in his court. Later on, Musa embarked on a large building program. He built many mosques and many madrasas, or Arabic learning centers in Timbuktu and Gao. During this time, Sankor Madrasa, or the University of Sankor, was built in Timbuktu. By the end of his reign, this university had the largest collection of books since the Library of Alexandria. We will have a video on this great library in the future, so don't forget to subscribe. Later on in Musa's reign, he restaffed the university with many great jurists, astronomers, and mathematicians. This caused Timbuktu to be a center for Muslim scholars all around the world. During this time, many civilizations around the world heard the story of the wealth of the Mali Empire, and many traders came to visit Timbuktu to conduct business. In the year 1330, Timbuktu was conquered by the Mossi kingdoms, or the Mossi Empire, which was based in modern-day Burkina Faso. Musa quickly regained Timbuktu, built a rampart and stone fort, and placed a standing army to protect the city from future invaders. Throughout his life, Mansa Musa conquered 24 cities, each with surrounding districts containing villages and estates. During his reign, Mali may have been the largest producer of gold in the world. Mansa Musa died in 1337 AD when he was 56 or 57 years old. He left his son, Mansa Maghan, behind to rule his empire, but just after 4 years of rule, he died in 1341, leaving Musa's other son, Mansa Solomon, to rule. Solomon ruled the empire from 1341 to 1360. This has been the life of Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. If you like the content and want to see more, subscribe for future videos. Comment down below what subjects you would like to see covered in future videos.